Hi folks, so welcome to Module 4. Believe it or not, we're getting towards, I'll get my calendar here, we're moving right along towards to mid-semester, so that's kind of exciting. So here are the instructions for this week. I'm going to walk you through each one of these items. So this week we're looking at digital tools for assessment. So one requirement is for you to have a formative assessment using a digital platform. I've given you two links here I'd like you to look at. One is digital tools for assessment, the other is presentation tools for students, and then I've given you a video on how to create assessments using Google Forms. So if you click on this website right here, I'm going to take you there just to walk you through it a little bit. Sorry for the extra click. Sometimes that happens when I put these in. So these are our top tech tools for formative assessment. I couldn't possibly show them all to you and demonstrate them all. You'd be bored to tears and you'd be frustrated because it would be taking in too much all at once. So I want you to explore this and maybe look at some that you think might be interesting. Nearpod is something that a lot of my students have used in the past. I didn't give you a little demo on it, but it's something you want to look at because it enables you to see what your students are doing in real time. So they could be working on an assessment on their computers, and you could be on your computer and seeing what they're doing. So it's pretty neat. I do have a little video, not a video, but an explanation of today's meet for you. Kahoot is another platform that a lot of my students have used. I have not used it, so I can't give you any sort of feedback on it, but do take a look at it. Formative is another one that I've heard good things about. Socrative, again, another good one. Don't look at the paid ones. I don't want you to spend any money, so just skip the paid ones, even though Turnitin is a pretty good application. So we're just going to skip those. Educanon is something I'm going to give you a little bit more information on. I don't know about Exit Ticket or Plickers. Take a look if you want to. Same thing with the rest of these, so you can see there's a lot to choose from. And this is only just a drop in the bucket, folks. And that's one of the problems with learning about digital literacy and technology is that there's so much you can't possibly know it all. So in any event, use this as a way to sort of explore and take some time to do it too. Don't be too quick about trying to get there. So let me see if I can get back to what I'm doing here because now I've got this. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. And then this one, presentation tools for students. Presentation tools could be used for a formative or summative assessment. So do take a look at this as well, and I'll take you there as well to take a quick look. Some of these you'll already know about, but some you may not too. Give it a second to load. By the way, I'm recording from home again today. I'm working from home until tomorrow. So I have my little dog in the background. I'm also dog sitting for my daughter's dog. So you're apt to hear dogs barking, and I apologize for that. So Animoto, Glogster, Prezi, these are all things you might know about. Mixbook. Glogster is really kind of neat. You create an online poster. Lots of times, especially in the younger grades, we're asking students to create posters, and this is a way to do it online. Some of you have already used Animoto for your digital story. Let's see, these others I don't know about. VoiceThread I do, and some of you may have experimented with that. And that's it. So there's not too many here. And let me get us back to our website. Sorry about that. Okay, so take a look at both of those and spend some time with them, please. Don't just, really take some time with them and maybe take some notes and think about some you want to explore right away, some you might want to, put away and look at another time. And then the easiest way, one of the quickest ways, is to use the Google Forms to create an assessment. And here's a little video to show you how to do that. It's really simple to do. So take a look at the video. Google Forms is part of your Google Drive, your Google Docs. And when you go to your Google Drive and open it up, you'll see there's a place to open up a form. And this video walks you through that. So take a look at the video. It's not terribly long. The video was made in 2011. The way Google Forms might look a little bit different in 2015 because Google is always updating things. But the way you create the quiz is the same way. So, as I said, I can't give you everything, but here are two. So I've looked at today's meet and Educanon. I've actually created a chat room for today's meet. Today's Meet is a back channel where students can ask questions and make comments and see what's going on in class. You do have to be careful about this and teach students how to use it appropriately, because they could be doing inappropriate things there as well. But it's kind of a cool thing. It's almost like permission to pass notes, but passing notes that are pertinent to what's going on in the class. So I'd like you to click on this and go here. You can see that I've asked you a question. What do you think of this platform for formative assessment? Give yourself a nickname, join, and then I'll give another, I'll just call myself Jim. Okay, I don't know who Jim is. And then it gives me a chance to write a message and click say. Okay, which means that's going to put it over here. So I'm going to say, I think it is pretty cool. Click say. Okay, and there it is. So it keeps a running list, of what's being asked and what's being said. So in a classroom, you could ask something, a question of your students, and have them respond on the back channel. This is also good for students who may not like to speak out in class, and they can record their answer there or their question there. A lot of teachers project this on a whiteboard or a smart board so that the teacher can keep track of it while they're working in the classroom. And that's one way of also trying to make sure our students are being appropriate, because if everybody can see it and the teacher can see it, they're going to be a little less likely to do inappropriate things. EduCanon is one of my favorites. It's designed to be used with YouTube, TeacherTube, Google Drive Video, Shmoop, SchoolTube, Vimeo, and a lot more. Now, I've linked those video not platforms, they're the video, what do I want to say, storehouses, I guess they're called. I'd like you to, I know you probably already know about YouTube, but TeacherTube is very, very good. It's all designed by teachers for teachers. You'd have to have an account, but it's free, so do take a look at that. Shmoop, SchoolTube, and Vimeo are also good storehouses for videos, so you want to make sure to use your resources, okay? Do take some time to look at those links. EduCanon is, I tried to find a nice tutorial for EduCanon. They had some really good ones, but EduCanon has updated the way their platform works since those videos were created. I didn't want to confuse you, because the video, while it helps you to create a video, the instruction looks very different. So I decided not to do that. But I'd like you to take a look at the EduCanon I made for EDU 250, all right? Some of you have probably already seen this if you took 250 with me. But what EduCanon does is that it lets you post a video from any one of these places, and it could be one that you've made that you've posted to one of these sites. And then you can stop at the video at any point and ask students questions, or you can insert information that you want to punctuate. So in my EDU 250 video, I didn't ask students questions, but what I did was I stopped and said, this is really important. Pay really attention to this, and then I would sort of reiterate what I wanted them to take away from that. But you can ask questions, so it could be a formative assessment, so it could be a quiz. And so think about what your content is. I know some of you are working in the ELA with the Heroes Quest. It may be that you create a video around the Heroes Quest, or you find one somewhere, and that you ask students, along the way to answer specific questions about a particular place on the Heroes Quest, and that could give you an idea of how students are if they're understanding this or not. It's good to use for mathematics. It's good for use for any subject area. So do take a look at it. It's one of my favorites. And again, do review some of these video storehouses in terms of you're thinking about how you might use video in your classroom. We're going to be looking at flipped lessons next week, so these will come in handy as well, because these could be used for flipped lessons as well as formative assessment. Differentiation is another topic this week. In 390, I get really into differentiation. And those of you currently enrolled in 390 will recognize this text. It's the same text I have in 390. But it's a brief overview about what differentiation is. For this class, I'd like you to think about what differentiation could do, what you could do with differentiation with technology. And to that end, I've given you a chapter. It says middle school, but your certification goes 7 through 12. So the ideas in here can be used at high school as well. Read this chapter carefully. I'm not asking you to do anything with it. I just want you to read it. And I want you to really think about how technology could assist you in differentiation. The lesson plan template that I've given you to use, both of them have a place for you to to indicate how you're going to differentiate. I would strongly urge you to think about how you would use technology to do that, okay? So some of you I know have already completed your professional development. I saw some of your names in the free technology conference that has been going on, and today is the last day. So I'm really pleased about that you've taken advantage of that. Some of you have done things with Richard Byrne for free technology for teachers. Some of you have found other opportunities using webinars, and some of you may not have yet completed your PD, but that's okay. But I know that some of you have asked me how you would document this, and so this is it. I want you to write a reflection on your experience. This is an informal reflection. The criteria is pretty simple. I want you to name what you attended and when you attended it. Describe the professional development opportunity a little bit. And then tell us what the affordances and constraints of digital PD is in your opinion. In other words, what worked and what didn't work for you. For me, some of the constraints is that, that sometimes when you use a chat box in a webinar, there's a lot of people typing and it gets a little confusing. But I think for me, it just means I have to take a different mindset when I do professional webinars and that sort of thing. I'd like to know what you think, though. I'd like you to have your opinion of the PD you attended in terms of the content and delivery, and then your opinion on the future of digital PD. Where do you think this is going? This isn't due until December 7th, but I wanted to give you this, so if some of you wanted to get started on this, you could do so. I always like to get things done well ahead of time. And then last week I said not to worry about your course management system, but I do want you to worry about it this week. So here's what I would like you to do. All of you have some sort of a course management site. Somewhere on that course management site, you should be able to have a description of your unit of study. Now, that doesn't mean you'd want to upload the whole thing, but you want a student-friendly description of what this unit of study is about. There should be an opportunity for students to collaborate asynchronously. Okay, this could be built in, like Edmodo and I think Schoology have a built-in place where students can chat. If there isn't a built-in platform, you need to insert one or link to one, like a blog. Next week, I will look at blogs. Okay, so if you don't have something in your CMS that provides student collaboration, then wait till next week, and then you can look at blogs along with flipped lessons to think about how you might do that. So the course management site isn't due for grade for a while yet, but I'm asking you to send it to me, this module for feedback. I'd like to have there be a place for a syllabus or a learning plan that is student friendly. So something that shows students sort of the progression of what they will be doing. Okay, more and more high schools are being asked to provide syllabi for their classes. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to get in the habit of making a syllabus, but it should be student friendly. It doesn't need to look like a college syllabus, but it should give a day-by-day plan so students have an idea of what's going to be happening. It could be in the form of a calendar. It could link to a Google Calendar that had each day on it. All kinds of different ways of doing that. And a place for students, for you to post assignments, including your flipped lesson, which we will talk about next week, and a place for students to submit their assignments. The idea here is to be paperless, okay? I think all of the websites that you've chosen have places for that, so I'm not even going to go there. And then a place to post some resources for students. In Edmodo, there's a library in which you can post information. I'm pretty sure that there are places in all of the other ones that you can do that as well. So that's what I'm asking, okay? These 5 criteria for your course management site. If you want to add more than that, by all means do. But when I look at your course management site at the end of the semester, I'll want to see that you've included all of those things, all right? Remember, this should not be a separate thing. This should be working with your unit of study, okay, so that it becomes this seamless, integrated way of presenting material to your students. I'm going to give you a break from discussions this week. You're going to be pretty busy, and a lot of you are redoing and revising, so I want you to have the time to do that. So we're going to take a break from discussions, but if you want to talk, okay, if you've kind of gotten into the habit of chatting with your peers each week, please do talk about digital formative assessment or differentiation with technology, but I'm not going to grade the forum this week. So this is a free week for you. You can choose not to do the discussion forum, or you can choose to do it if you wish, all right? But it's totally up to you. you know, I kind of like the idea of you guys talking, but I didn't, you know, I just thought you needed a break from discussions this week and with some time then to work on revisions. Okay, so what do I want you to do for this week? I want you to experiment with some of those digital tools for assessment and decide on one that you want to use. Decide where it's going to fit into your scope and sequence for either and or both the digital story or WebQuest. Now I know you've passed in your scope and sequence for the digital story, but you're going to be doing some revision to that. So it may be that the, you know, the formative assessment would work there. It may be that it would work in your WebQuest, whatever works for you. So I want you to decide what you want to use. Share it in your groups for feedback. I've been popping into your groups, and some groups are doing better than others in terms of peer collaboration. I'm not grading these. These are not graded. You know, I don't want to put a stick to you to make you do this, but please know that as aspiring teachers, collaboration is really crucial, and this is an opportunity for you to work with your fellow pre-service teachers to learn how to do this sort of collaborative work. And then submit it to me by October 22nd for feedback, okay? Either a link, it'll probably be a link, so send me the link. Make sure that if you've used something that you need to give permission, you do so I don't have to email 5,000 times to ask for permission or an access code. So just make sure it's available to me. Continue to build your website or your course management site, and then submit it to me for interim feedback by October 29th, okay? Frankly, I'm going to be having medical procedure on the 30th, so I'm not going to be, you know, reading all of those exactly on the 29th or 30th. So if you have an extra day or two you need, it's fine, okay? But I'm putting the 29th down as sort of, you know, I'd like you to try to adhere to that if you can. But if it gets to be the 30th or 31st, don't fret, okay? All right. So given that you've only got 2 things to do this week, and they're not anything that's too onerous, I don't think, I'd like you to work on revisions of any of the items you previously submitted, okay? That would be your digital story, your introductory story to your digital story scope and sequence, the scope and sequence for the digital story, your WebQuest, or your unit plan, okay? And then if you want feedback on those, and this is not mandatory, okay, but if you want some more feedback on your revisions, I've created a general submission tab in this module the way you can submit these to me, okay? So remember that final revisions are not due until the end of the semester, okay? But I believe in feedback and lots of it, but I don't want, again, to make it every week that you're sending something for feedback. So if you feel confident that the feedback you've received is enough for you to go ahead and to revise it for a final revision, please do so. But if you feel as though you need some more feedback from me, then you can submit it in the tab. I'd like you to tell me what kind of feedback you'd like, okay? In the little box on when you submit in Blackboard, just make a little note. What is it that you would like more feedback on, and what do you feel the least confident in? So that will help me to focus my feedback. I do want to note that, you know, while I will accept feedback, you know, on any of these items, I'm only going to accept submissions for feedback until November 30th. Because after November 30th, you'll be finalizing things and getting me your final projects. And I don't want to have submissions coming in for feedback while I'm looking at finals, because I don't want to get them confused. And I think until November 30th is plenty of time for you to work on revisions and send me anything that you want. All right? So here are the links, the submission tabs for the digital formative assessment. Submit your link here. Again, give me any permissions that I will need. And then your course management site, give me, again, you may have already given me an access code or a join code, but give it to me again because I didn't keep a list of those. If I've already joined, I should probably be able to get back to it, but just in case, it'll be great. And then here's the tab for general feedback submissions. This is the only tab I'm going to put up for this, so remember where it is. Write it down somewhere. It's in Module 4. So next week, if you have something you want me to look at that wasn't requested to be sent in, put it here. Okay, so Module 4 is where the general feedback submission tab is. That's it, folks. Okay, I think this is a doable module, and I think you'll enjoy looking at these 2 pieces on differentiated instruction and digital tools for assessment. So with that, I will say goodbye. I'll talk to you soon.